question. Are you ready? Why do people talk? Raise your hand. Give me a reason why people talk. Why do people talk? Why do people talk? I know why you guys talk. There's a lot of different reasons why people talk. Why do people talk? Ian?
Because they talk. You unmuted me.
I know, I'm coming to you next. Ian, why do people talk?
Because they can.
Okay, because they can, all right. Cherith, why do people talk?
Jesus made that you can talk.
What?
Jesus made you be able to talk.
Okay, Jesus made you be able to talk, okay. Well, give me like a specific reason why you talk. Think about why do girls talk versus boys? Okay, Jocelyn.
So we can communicate.
All right, communicate. All right, girls have a lot to say, right? I see girls are shaking their head like, not me. Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, girls. Scarlett, why do we talk?
To answer questions.
Oh, that's a good answer. You're answering questions right now. Okay, why else do we talk? I'm trying to get some of you unmuted. Gianna?
To spread the gospel.
Okay, that's a great answer. To spread the gospel. Why else do we talk? Blandina?
To spread information, like
Good.
lots of information.
Okay, to tell other people information, just like how teachers talk. Teachers couldn't teach, right? If they couldn't talk, it would be really difficult. If you couldn't talk, how could teachers teach, right? They couldn't talk. If they just stood up there and were like, you know, you'd be like, if I pointed all day, you'd be like, you know, what? Yeah, I got it. Yep, that makes sense. You need me to say words, right? What's the very first thing I do with my daughter is I tell her to use her words, right? Because right now this is her. And I'm like, what? Use your words, child. Because she can't. She knows how to use her words. She chooses not to use her words because she thinks that she's a baby. But I'm like, you're 2.5, and she can talk. She just doesn't want to. Caleb, you like talking about things. Why do you talk?
I would say to communicate to others in times like this, to be able to talk to people, to be on YouTube, to basically you talk to be famous.
Oh, okay, Caleb's gonna be famous one day, so remember that. Everybody remember Caleb's name, okay? All right. To have a conversation, Jacob said, okay? All right. Okay, so we can talk for many different reasons. Sometimes it's good, right? But sometimes maybe it's a bad reason. You could lie. Sometimes you can use your mouth for bad reasons. You could boast. You could sin with your mouth, right? Unfortunately. But you should be using your mouth to help. All of you said helpful things, which I love that about this. You all said good things. Nobody said I use my mouth to tell lies or you know, make up stuff but you can use your mouth to share, communicate, tell a joke. But God gave us the ability to talk. I think of talking, of all of your senses, of all the things you learn how to do when you're little, when a little kid learns how to talk, it's like one of the most exciting things is when they're learning how to talk, right? When they learn how to start to put words together, you're like, yay, they said mommy, right? Because they're like, they know who you are and they can say it. But then when they're like 2 and they say mommy every other word, you're like over it, right, Miss Palmer? You know what I'm saying. Because you're like, if you say mommy one more time, I'm going to change my name. I do. I change my name every other day to words they can't pronounce. It's a true story. All right. How often, though, do we think about our speech and if it accomplishes God's desire? This is what we're going to talk about today. Because I've talked to you guys about this before, is that we're going to be held accountable for the things we say. One day you have to, God is watching and listening to our words. And if we're out there saying things that don't glorify God, God is like gonna say, like, why were you saying those things? It didn't do any good for me. I love Gianna's answer. You can share the gospel with your mouth. God gave you a mouth to share the gospel. You can share the gospel with your actions. Love others and be kind, but he also gave you a mouth, right, to share with others. And even though you're at home right now, Caleb's right. We have YouTube, we have this kind of Zoom calls. You could be talking to people. When you get out of here, this is a great testimony to say, even though you're going through a hard time, God still loves you through this, right? So I'm going to read you a verse real quick. If you want to look it up, you can, but I'm just going to read you one verse. This is not where we're staying, but I'm going to ask you a question about this verse. So it's 1 Corinthians 10:31. So listen carefully because I'm going to ask you a question about this verse. 1 Corinthians 10:31. You don't have to ask me or each other where we are. Whether, therefore, ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do. So that means everything you do for the glory of God. So that means everything, okay? So what should our speech do? What should our speech do? What should our speech do? It says everything you do should glorify God. So what should your speech do? Gabby? Glorify God. That's what she said. Glorify God. So we're going to talk about, that's not in your book. We are not in our book yet. I'm just going to tell you a little background about what we're going to talk about, and then we'll be looking up some verses in our book, okay? During the time of the Israelites wandering in the wilderness, the Moabites lived nearby. Okay, so just listen because this is going to go with what we're doing, what we're reading about today. The Moabite king, King Balak, that's capital B-A-L-A-K, Balak. So remember that when you grow up so you can name your first child Balak. Okay. Oh, Ballerina, just don't look at me like that. She's all like, no, I'm talking to you, Ballerina, Balak. The king, he's a Moabite king named King Balak. He feared God's people as a military threat only, because they were great in numbers. Okay. Balak sent a group of officials about 400 miles away. That was about a 2-day travel days to bring Balaam. So there's 2 B names, Balak, B-A-L-A-K, and Balaam, B-A-L-A-A-M. Keep that straight, Cherith. Balak, Balaam. Balak, Balaam. Balak, Balaam. Say that a lot. Balak, Balaam. I want to see all your mouths moving. Balak, Balaam. 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 Come on, Sammy. Balak, Balaam. Balak, Balaam. Balak. Yeah, Sammy, I don't see your mouth moving. Balak, Balaam. Balak, Balaam. Balak, Balaam. Balak, Balaam. Yeah, nice names, right? Okay, so Balak sends Balaam. They want to bring Balaam, a pagan prophet, to Moab. Oh, these names just keep getting better. You didn't know how much fun names we would be doing today. This is the fun name day. Woo! The fun name day. To Moab. Based on Balaam's successful reputation of using sorcery. Ready? This is sorcery. Woo! Ready? Do sorcery. Woo! Oh, you better all do it right now. Because if they're not doing it, they fail 4th grade. Oh, yeah, Stephanie. Oh, she's getting into it. Colin, do it now. Braxton, sorcery. Woo! Braxton, I'm waiting. Woo! Sorcery. Yes, great. Okay. Using sorcery to pronounce blessings and curses. So blessings are yay, woo, and curses are rah. Yay, curses are rah. Ready? Sorcery. Woo! Come on, sorcery. Woo! Blessings are yay, curses are rah. Rah. Come on. This is the most we've done in Bible forever. You can do it. Rah. Oh yeah, Colin. He is. Make your family wonder what you're doing in Bible today. Come on, you can do it. I know Sheriff's getting into this. Sheriff, you better be doing it. Oh yeah. Okay. So that seemed to work. And Balak, remember? Balak wanted Balaam to curse Israel. Oh boy, Israel is God's chosen people. But he said Balaam, boo, wanted to curse Israel. Let's see how this is going to work out. Give me a thumbs up if you think this is going to work. Give me a thumbs down if you think this is not going to work. He wants him to curse Israel. Curse. Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't know how this is going to work. Okay. So Balaam said that God was his God in Numbers 22:18. So I'm just going to give you what happened. And that the only thing he could speak concerning Israel was that God told him to speak. These, so this is the thing. So go to Numbers. So he says, so he calls them. Balak says, Balaam, I need you to do me a favor. So come here. I need you. So this is Balak goes, Balaam. Balak says, Balaam, come here. I need you to curse Israel. And Balaam's like, whoa, I don't know about that. So here's the only things you can say about them. So go to Numbers, and here's the only things that he's allowed to say. So do you think he can curse them? You think he's allowed to curse them? Do you think God's like, go ahead and curse my people? Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Baals? Who's Baals? Jacob Buzzcut. There is no Baals. Balaam. Make you write Balaam 100 times. Jacob Buzzcut. All right, let's say it. Balak, Balaam, Balak, Balaam, Balak, Balaam, Balak, Balaam, Balak, Balaam. Oh yeah, Jocelyn, get into it. Okay. Numbers, go to Numbers. Matthew, not Matthew. What? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. Numbers. Numbers 22. Numbers 22. Okay. We're going to verse 18. Okay, so here's what he says. Numbers 22:18. He says, Balaam answered. So he says, okay, so this is up to where I led you. I said, Balak. You guys are going to be saying this all day. Balak, Balaam, Balak, Balaam, Balak, Balaam. Oh, Addison is saying it. Balak, Balaam, Balak, Balaam, Balak, Balaam. Okay, so he says to them, curse them. And Balaam answered and said unto the servants of Balak, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold. So he says, even if he did, I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord my God to do less or more. What? So go to verse 20. So God comes to Balaam at the night and says unto him, if the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them but yet the word which I shall say unto thee, that shalt thou do. So he said, this is the only thing you're allowed to say. So remember we were talking about words? So he says, this is the only thing you're allowed to say about the children of Israel. Oh man, this is so good. So he says, here is the only thing you're allowed to say about the children of Israel. This is it. Okay, so remember Balak said, curse them. A curse is what? Is that a good thing? No. A curse is, right? Not a good thing. If you ask somebody to curse somebody, that would be a negative thing. Belle, she's all like, no. She doesn't want anyone to curse her one day. But if somebody cursed you, it'd be no. But here's what God says, okay? He says in verse 20, that was verse 20. Go to verse 35. Here's what he says. This is the only thing you're allowed to say about the children of Israel. This is it. The angel of the Lord said unto Balaam, go with the men, but only the word that I shall speak unto thee, that thou shalt speak. So Balaam went to the prince of Balak. Verse 38. And Balaam said unto Balak, though I am come unto thee, have I now any power at all to say anything? The word that God putteth in my mouth, that shall I speak. Okay. Then we have to go to chapter 23 and verse 5. And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, return unto Balak, and thus shalt thou speak. Verse 8. And how shall I curse whom God hath not cursed? Or how shall I defy whom the Lord hath not defied? Verse 12. And he answered and said, must I not take heed to speak that which the Lord hath put in my mouth? So he keeps just saying, I can't say anything. I'm not allowed to curse them over and over again. Balak keeps saying, go ahead, anytime now. You could just curse them, they're right there. And Balaam just keeps saying, I can't. The Lord will not let me. And Balak's like, go ahead any moment. And he's like, I can't do it. I'm not allowed to. God did not let me. And the Lord met Balaam and put a word in his mouth and said, go again unto Balak and say thus. Verse 20. Behold, I received commandment. So this is the best verse of all. This is verse 20. He said, I am supposed to bless them. And so he blessed them, and it cannot be reversed. Raise your hand if you think Balak was happy when he did that. Did he want the Israelites to be blessed? No, but all of a sudden Balaam's like, okay, God finally gave me a word of what to do. Here I go. I gotta warm up. Woo. And Balak's like, yes. He's about to curse them finally. Like, blessings from the Lord. And he's like, what? Ah! I told you to curse them. Show me. He's like, I'm sorry. I was just following what God said. See, it says right here. Oh, I don't know. He probably didn't show him his phone, right? But he said, I told them. He's like, I told you to curse them. What are you doing? And he's like, I'm sorry. God said, bless them. I got to listen to what God said. God said, bless them. I'm sorry. I got to listen to God. God is going to strike me dead if I don't do what he says. But Balaam answered and said unto Balak, told not I thee, saying, all the Lord speaketh that I must do. So you think Balaam was like, it's cool. And Balak was like, yeah, it is cool. I'm glad you so did that. He was like, I can't stand these people. And you just blessed them? Get out of here. You're a bad listener. Like if he was a teacher, he was probably like, go to the principal's office, right? Like you're the worst student in the world. I told you to curse them. And now they're blessed. And the best part of it all is that he said, I bless you in the name of the Lord. And he was like, Balak, did you hear me? It can't be undone. What? Oh my gosh. Wait. Way to go, Balaam. And he's like, well, don't blame me. Blame God. And he's like, I will. If they were both talking, they were probably like, I will blame God. You go ahead. Who were you too? Right? That's how I imagine it went. All right, let's look at page 109 in our book now. Okay? Go to page 109 in your book. This is a crazy story, right? Because Balak, Balaam, Cherith, I want you to say that all day long. Balak, Balaam. Come on, you're a cheerleader. Balak, Balaam. Come on, do a cheer. Balak, go, Balak. Oh yeah, look at her. Woo, woo. Yep. All right, good girl. Okay, we're on page 109. All right, so God is speaking through Balaam. Balaam went there to do what Balak said. Balak's like, Balaam is going to do what I say. So he said, you're going to curse the people. Balaam's like, sure, no problem. And then when he got there, that is not how it ended. This is not the way it went. Okay? So, Balaam speaks only the words God says to Balaam. Okay, so what would the end? So we're going to just fill in these blanks. What would the end of righteous Israel's life be like? So we're going to say like they got blessed, right? Israel was blessed. So fill that in, number 1. They were blessed. They were not cursed. Balaam blessed them. They were blessed. That's what you put for the first one. They were blessed. Balaam blessed them. Balaam ended up blessing them. They were not cursed. They were blessed. All right. Now this one is number 2. What can God not do? What can God not do? What that we've talked about before. Cherith?
Nothing.
What?
He cannot do. He can do everything.
Well, what can he not do? He cannot what? Starts with an L.
Lie.
He cannot lie, right? He cannot lie or change his mind. So was he going to change his mind? Like once the Israelites were blessed, was God going to change his mind and all of a sudden curse the people? No, right? So once Balaam opened his mouth and said, it was almost like he was like trying to do what Balak wanted. Like he was like, I will curse them. Here I go. Ooh. And then he was like, blessing. And then he was like, what? You were not supposed to say that. And he's like, and that's it. And it's done. And he's like, oh my. And then it's like, well, God can't change his mind. Like once it's done forever. Like God said, these people are blessed, and God can't take it back, right? Once it was out there, then that's it. God can't lie. God can't change his mind. He can't go back and say, well, I actually did mean cursed, actually. So delete that answer and then Balaam, go ahead, try again. No, God meant to bless the people. What does God do for Israel? He provides strength for them. So that's the third answer. He provides strength and he leads them in victory. Write that down for the third answer. He provides strength and leads them in victory. They were supposed to be cursed, but God provides strength and leads them in victory. All right, and the last answer there, what would come from Israel? And we didn't really get this far in the verse, but a star, write this down, a star. A star and a scepter. And you spell scepter S-C-E-P-T-E-R. A star and a scepter. A star and a scepter. All right. All right, look at the backside now. We're going to fill in the parts of the story. So it says, use the pictures on page 109 to retell the story of what just happened with Balaam. Write the letter in the blank that correctly matches Balaam's speeches with the promises to Abraham. Okay, so we have different pictures that are happening in the front of the page. Okay, I'm coming for you. Addison has a question. Hold on. I gotta find you first. Where are you? Addison. Yes. Yeah.
What was number 2?
God cannot lie or change his mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Okay, look at the backside. So look at the pictures on the front and think about our 3 things we've talked about all year. The 3 promises that God gave Abraham were land, seed, and blessing. Hopefully you did not forget that, because those are the 3 promises. So from Balaam's speeches, which one matches that nobody could destroy the nation of Israel? So nobody could destroy it or curse it and take them away from the place God gave them. So which one does that match? Land, seed, or blessing? Autumn?
Land?
Land, very good, yes. So nobody was going to come in and curse them and kill them, or because God already promised Israel land. So letter A for number 1. God was already promised them land, so put for number 1 letter A. All right, we only have 2 choices left. Number 2, Christ, the son of Abraham, is the blessing, the star, the scepter of Israel, as well as the ruler of the world. So that means, like, in Abraham's family, Jesus is eventually going to be born. Jessica?
Seed?
Seed, very good. So eventually in his family line, Jesus will be born. So is anybody going to touch the Israelites? No, they can't be cursed. There's no way anybody can touch them because they are the promised people. So the last one, everyone should be able to get it. Because God's promises cannot be changed, the world will know goodness through Israel because of Christ. Did I unmute somebody? Colin,
Yes.
go ahead.
Number 3? C.
Number 3?
C.
C, very good. All right. Okay. Number at the bottom, I want you to mark the answers for number 4 through 9, and then we'll go through your answers. So go ahead and answer those questions right now if you didn't do them yet, and then we're gonna go through them in a minute. So read those questions. Each answer, it has 1 answer, and then we're gonna check and see if you got the answers right. So when you're done, just look at me. Okay, go ahead. Scarlett, I love your name. All right, let's go through these, okay? So number one, what best describes Balaam? Well, how would you describe Balaam? Jasmine?
A servant of the Lord.
No, he is not a servant of the Lord. How did I describe him in the beginning of our story?
A man of God's heart.
No, you have one
I
choice
can't
left.
read it. Oh my goodness.
He's actually,
A prophet of other gods.
yes, he's actually a prophet of other gods. That's why Balak called him to curse the Israelites. He thought he would be the perfect person for the job, because why would he care about the Israelites? He wouldn't. So he thought, he'd be the perfect person to do it. Number 5, who is the promised seed of Israel that will bless the world? Scarlett?
Jesus Christ.
Very good. All right, number 6, what could no one take away from Israel? Clay?
The blessings God gave them.
Good, the blessings they were promised by God. Nobody can take that away from them. They were promised that by God. Nobody can take the blessings away that were promised to them. Number 7, what is true of God's promises? Eli? I mean, not Eli. Is Eli here?
Yes.
Eli, go ahead.
Wait, is it number 6?
Number 7. What is
7?
true of God's promises?
Sin cannot cause God to change his mind about a promise.
No, what do we say about his promises? We didn't say anything about sin. What did we say about them?
The promise of God can never be changed.
Good. It can never be changed. Okay, never. Number 8, what blessings had God promised Abraham and his descendants? Okay, I'm gonna unmute all of you so you all can say the answer. Ready? Okay.
Land, seed, blessing.
You all should know. Land, seed, blessing. Good. All right, and last one. What can we learn about Christ, the Messiah, from Numbers 24:17? He shall be seen only by faith. Y'all should have got that one right. Okay. All right, we're done with this today. We don't have Bible tomorrow because tomorrow is your Bible verse test. You need to make sure that you are ready for that Bible verse test. I'll be sending the schedule out today for who will be calling you tomorrow for Skype, and you need to be ready to go when you guys have been doing much better with getting called in the morning and are calling us in the morning and being ready to go. So at 11:30 we have math, and that's it for your Zooms today. You only have 2 Zooms. Make sure you do a good job on your quiz today. They have a history quiz, Ms. Palmer, right? Yep, history quiz. Make sure you do a good job on that, and I'll see you guys at 11:30. Okay? All right. See you then. Bye.